Listen, it's only April, but I do not see a world where any movie is better in 2025 than Sinners. Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and today I wanted to give you my thoughts on Ryan Coogler's Sinners, the surprise hit at the box office, #1 in America, beating out the Minecraft movie. Yes, that's the movie we're going to talk about today. The vampire horror flick directed by the guy that did Black Panther and Creed. Could it be any good? Is the hype worth believing? I am here to tell you, unequivocally, positively, without question, yes. Now, I just want to say this right off the bat. I know some of you guys that watch my channel are probably going, yeah, Nick, well, you're pretty forgiving with a lot of these movies, so is it actually that good? Not only am I going to tell you why it's so good, but I cannot even begin to describe to you that it is, and everybody is saying it is, because it just is. All right, so without getting into too many details, Sinners is a period piece set in 1930s Mississippi, and it's about vampires. Pretty much. Like, that's what the trailers tell you. That's what you're probably going to this for. Now, it's a little more nuanced than that. Of course, you have Michael B. Jordan playing a dual role of twin brothers, and they want to set up a, blues hall, a juke as they call it, where a lot of other African Americans can come there and dance and drink and have fun, have a place where they can find fellowship and family and relaxation and enjoyment amidst a lifetime that they spent of doing bullshit. Like, let's just call it what it is. Obviously, this is going to address slavery and segregation, and rightfully so. It makes this movie a lot more powerful. And then, of course, the vampires show up to this juke, and that's basically the plot of Sinners. That's what you really need to know without getting into details. Cons, there's literally one. There's one con, and I wouldn't even call it a con. I didn't need the mid-credits scene. That's really all I'll say. I felt like the movie ended on such a high when the credits started that I did not need the mid-credits scene. That's not to say that it's not a good scene, but I feel like it almost blunted the impact that the ending had. But that's it. That's literally the only complaint I have about this movie. So getting into the pros, first and foremost, Ryan Coogler as a filmmaker. Look, I have not seen Black Panther. I know a lot of people loved it. That movie was a phenomenon. This movie is no different. And this guy, dude, he can direct, okay? I'm sure a lot of you already knew that if you saw Black Panther. I hadn't, but holy shit. This movie is photographed beautifully. It looks incredible. There's so many moments in this movie where there are certain things amidst a sequence going on where audio is just heightened. It almost drowns out what you're watching. It keeps your adrenaline going, even in moments in this movie that aren't really supposed to be heightened sequences at all. I think the use of sound design, I think the way he just shoots this movie, the way it looks, it's just everything about it. Technically speaking, it's a gorgeous movie. It looks phenomenal. So I've got to give Ryan Coogler credit first and foremost. Next up is going to be the performances. Look, I don't really know how you can walk away from this movie thinking that the performances were bad. At all. And I haven't heard anybody say that, thank God. Michael B. Jordan, phenomenal. Literally incredible. And it's awesome that Smoke and Stack are so different. So different yet so similar. And Michael B. Jordan kills it with that, really selling us on them being two different people. But they're also very alike. I believe his name is Miles Catton. I don't want to mispronounce it. He was great as Sammy. He really, really was. It was a revelation. And he can actually sing like that, which I was like, damn, he's really good. Haley Steinfeld. Look, I loved her in Bumblebee. I know she hasn't done a ton of acting, but she is an actress. She was awesome. Awesome in this movie. I cannot even tell you how surprised I was, because I was like, yeah, you were good in Bumblebee, but this is such a more serious role, and she's so good in it. Literally so good. Congratulations, Josh Allen. The performances across the board are incredible. The story is really, really good. I really like this story. This movie is a slow build. It is really going to bring you in and endear you to a lot of these characters and situations, or just let you get to know them before it really hits the ground running. And I actually really like movies like that, so long as the characters that you're giving me are interesting and the story makes sense and is interesting. And in Sinners, that is very much the case. The first half, if not more, of this movie really is about the characters, really is about the situation, what they're trying to build to. And it's really cool. I really like these characters. I like their camaraderie. I like the setting. It was nice, but it was also deeper than that, because in watching specifically the first half of this movie, really the whole movie, but definitely the first half, where it's really focusing on what life was like for African Americans back then in the South, it's heartbreaking. Like, I don't know how anybody that has a heart can't watch that and be like, this is terrible. Like, I can't believe this was ever a thing. And that's what I was thinking while watching this movie. And it kind of just creates this air of sadness over the whole film. And I really think that's part of the point of it. And I really liked that. But first and foremost, it was just the times. That's the way it was. And whether people want to admit it nowadays or not, that happened. When you get into the second half of this movie and the vampire action really ramps up, I think Ryan Coogler focused on the most important things and most effective things about vampirism. Like, first and foremost, the seduction. For, whether that be the female seduction or whether that just be the manipulation. And I really liked how he played into that. These vampires, like, honestly, if I was somebody that was trying to stay alive, I might be like, oh, okay, I don't know, I might become a vampire. Like, they're that good. There's only a few, like, CGI shots in this movie. There really aren't a lot, but when it's utilized really well. I actually noticed a couple scenes where I could tell it was CGI, but I genuinely was sitting there going, like, that's really good CGI. Like, it's not taking me out of the movie at all. And furthermore, a lot of the practical effects and gags that they use for whether it be blood or bites, whatever, it all looks really, really good. The special effects here are super, super strong. This was a $90 million budgeted movie, and aside from the actors being paid, I would feel like a lot of that went into just making this accurate for 1932 and the effects work, and both are great. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how they, I didn't live in 1930s Mississippi, but I am a student of history, and I can tell you I think Ryan Coogler captured it perfectly. Like, it just really feels like that it transports you back to that time. You are there. And it's not a place you want to be. Like, it's definitely not, but we were there, and it really felt authentic. So I have to give credit to everybody, the production designers, the wardrobe, costume, makeup, everybody. It was fantastic. I'm going to try to keep my composure while talking about this, but there were a few moments in this movie that movies don't do this to me a lot. And when they do, like, it really, really means something that just genuinely, like, spoke to me. There's a music sequence in this movie that I legitimately had goosebumps, and I felt like I was out of my body. And I'm not even, like, exaggerating. I was sitting there in the theater, and whether it was the sound, the visuals, like, I was overwhelmed with, like, emotion and feeling in that moment, and I genuinely can't describe it. Like, it was overwhelming. That's the only word that I can put to it, but that's exactly what they were trying to capture. And then there's a sequence, the recitation of the Lord's Prayer, that just... it hit me. It hit me in the heart. Like, because of everything that's going on, the juxtapositions while that scene is happening, and the mockery. Like, the mockery, someone in their time of need, like their darkest hour. I just can't even begin to describe to you how deeply that impacted me in the theater. Like, I was feeling, man. There's also an incredible ending that I wanted to see happen so badly. And when I could tell that it was coming, I was like, oh, yes. All I'll say is it's the following up of a promise. And I am so happy. So happy to have seen that on screen. Thank you, Ryan Coogler, for getting out some much needed righteous anger on film. It was beautiful to see. I loved it. I clapped in the theater. Like, I was laughing, and I was like, yes, I needed this for my soul. As a character piece, this thing works incredibly well. As a drama, it just hits you in the heart in so many different ways. As a vampire film, it's really effective. It captures what makes vampires vampires. There's action when there needs to be action. There's great effects. It really feels in line with some of the best vampire films. It's a slow burn. There's not a lot I can say about this movie that many people haven't already said. It is genuinely that good. And I cannot put into words how strongly I endorse this film. I walked away from this movie and I sat in my car and I was listening to Rod Wave's Sinners because it plays in the credits. And I was just overcome with everything I was feeling because, like, again, there's just this sadness and I don't even know how to describe it. It really, really impacted me deeply. The movie did. But amidst that, a triumph and beauty at the same time. And it's just a really raw, real story that happens to also include vampires. And I don't know how you marry those two and do it as seamlessly as Ryan Coogler did, but he did it. I mean, He did it. Look, guys, I give Sinners the highest of marks. 5 stars, 2 thumbs way up. Whatever you want to call it. I strongly recommend this movie. I cannot give a stronger recommendation than I do for Sinners. I genuinely believe that if somebody walks away from this movie and says they hated it, that says a lot about you as an individual, and I don't think I want to associate with you. And I'm just going to say that. I really don't think you could walk away from this movie and think anything other than, yeah, it was pretty good. Even if it's not your thing, I mean, you got to give it its flowers. It's incredible. I mean, it's genuinely incredible. I think this is a triumph in filmmaking and storytelling and acting and in the vampire subgenre. I just think it's incredible. I cannot wait to see what he does next. And I hope it's more horror, drama-based horror, because my God, this is phenomenal. But I want to know what you guys thought of Sinners. I didn't get into spoilers because I never do that week of release when I do a review. So comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Sinners. I want to hear from you. Please make sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm still trying to process my emotions. So I'm going to pull out now. Oh, that sounded even more risque.